okay? That takes a lot of skill. So usually what I've decided to do, and sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, I go right down the center. Actually, you know what, these have to be like paper thin. It's one of the things, like I have a tendency to, first of all, I've never had any job where all I did was gum paste. It was one of those things where, you know, every once in a while you would get an order. Okay, so I want to mark it when the paste is wet, and I go back with a lot of detail. That's critical. And then you can take your wire, and I would use, well, this would be, you know, green. You can press this on the back, and believe it or not, that will dry just like that. Or you can be a big fat cheater pants and do two. If you do it this way, I'm all about what works, okay? You can do it this way, and then that way, what I like about this is I can go underneath that and embellish that. If you look at this one, you see how you can see the back of the wire. So that's why I kind of like to do it that way. Now, what I would suggest doing is, if you're going to do that, roll out the paste, put the wire in, put the other piece, roll it out, and then cut it. You know what I'm saying? And that way it'll be paper thin. Then this would dry. You go with your coloring. Remember, our coloring would be this with a little bit of clear alcohol. Okay. Now, if you're going to do this flower, I'm not going to do this, but, and we can work when you come back from spring break, but over spring break, this flower, what I do is I use this cutter, okay, and I just cut it off here, ready? And you wrap it. The centers must be done before you do the white. So if you want to do a lily, you get your wire, you get your piece of yellow paste, dip it in your egg white, get your cornmeal, and let that dry. Are you with me, everybody? Then I would go back, I would roll out my white paste, cut it, wrap it, and then that would dry. Then I go back and I put the green on the bottom, and that would dry. Okay, we don't have time to do that tonight, maybe when we get back. On the inside of the lily, believe it or not, what you want to paint down in there is a little bit of pale pink. Okay, that makes it look really very realistic. These, you could do yellow and pink. Okay, and what you should do is you can go to, usually I go to a florist and get an example of a flower. These come in like a dark kind of pink purple too. So you used to have a girl that worked in a florist. Did you guys make the carnations in Advanced Decorative out of marzipan? Yeah, this is the same technique. You rolled it out and then you did it real, okay, you didn't do that.
No, we did. It just turned out horribly.
Oh, okay, well let me show you real fast. And then I think that should be enough for tonight, don't you think? Because we have to move on. That is definitely enough to get you started, don't you think? You can see like part of this too is all I have to do is take thin wire and I can wrap that around my dowel, and that's a little squiggly wiggly. All right, that's what those things are called. This, the baby's breath, is with this little thing. It's a rolled out, right? So we roll it paper thin, right? Little bit of egg white, and I push it down, push, and I build one like that. Alrighty, if I have time tonight, I'll do one of those. Buds, all I do is just take a piece and then put it on there, and then what do I do here? Mark it, and then that's a rosebud. Okay? Now, alrighty. Now what did I say I was going to do?
The carnation.
Okay, let's see. This one. What your mission here is kind of get a, you do this in layers. So you would do the center, then that would dry, then when that's dry, you keep building it. So I roll it out real thin. And I put it on this little guy. It actually works better with a toothpick. Now, does anyone have a toothpick real fast or no? Oh, okay, I'll make it work with this. Put it on the edge of the table. See how I want, I'm trying to tatter it on purpose, right? Because that's what they look like. And this could be done with marzipan too. So that angle is really do the other side. And wait to see what I do out of this. I cut it right down the middle and then I do two. Because again, it's funny about me. I'm good and then I'm bored. Good, then I'm bored. You know what I'm saying? So gum paste and I would never get along. The amount of hours that you have to, and don't get me wrong, it's all about the time you have. And it's one of those things where if you have room in your home, you want to get yourself set up like this and then get it, put saran wrap over it and get it out of the way of the cat and all that other kind of stuff. And so that you're not pulling this stuff out all the time, you know what I mean? Leave your egg whites out, no one's eating this. I just put a little bit too much egg white, darn. Okay, and then I roll it, roll it, roll it. I'm going to go back here. Roll it, roll it, roll it. That looks like a carnation, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And then I would take a white little thingy, a shepherd's hook for the carnation, go down the center. Then this would dry. Then I would do the same thing, egg white it, and that's how I would make this bigger. Okay? And then if you pop that out. So anytime that you're, so this little guy, I mean, that's a nice size if you want to make them bigger. Now the thing with the gum paste you want to remember is that don't do too many things. Like I said, keep it simple because you want your flowers to have the most detail possible. So, questions? Are we good? You have enough to keep you busy over spring break. Thank you for taping me, Sam. And we'll clean up now, okay? Yes, question. Hi, we're in a... No, we weren't being taped. She was taping.